You've been told that losing your eyesight with age is inevitable, that night blindness, blurry vision, or trouble reading in dim light is just part of growing old. But that's not true. So your eyes aren't failing because of age. They're failing because the tiny engines inside your cells are running out of fuel, and the natural repair system that should be protecting your vision at night has been shut down. And here's the twist: 4 natural oils, taken before bed, can actually refuel those engines, restore the nighttime repair cycle, and protect your eyes naturally, without a prescription, without surgery, and without gimmicks. Tonight I'll show you how. Imagine this during the day. So your vision feels almost manageable. You can read the newspaper, check your phone, and recognize faces without too much trouble. But as evening sets in, the streetlights start to blur, headlights from passing cars glare like fireballs, and suddenly the world looks as if someone smeared grease across your glasses. Many seniors chalk this up to age. But the truth is something far deeper and more fascinating is happening inside the eye. Your eye is not just a passive window, it's more like a camera lens with a built-in engine. And just like any machine, that engine needs energy. In youth, the energy supply is abundant and the lens stays sharp, the cornea moist, and the retina fully responsive. But as the years pass, the engine begins to sputter. The mitochondria, those tiny batteries inside every eye cell, don't produce the same spark of energy they once did. When the lights go down, your vision falters. It's not because you've gotten old, but because your cellular engines are running out of fuel. Think about oxidative stress. Oxygen itself is both friend and foe. It's essential for life, but it's also like fire. Give it too much room and it burns everything around it. Each blink, each exposure to sunlight, each moment you process an image produces byproducts called free radicals. When we're young, our bodies neutralize them with antioxidants. But with age, the balance tips. Free radicals begin to outnumber the defenses, corroding the delicate proteins in your cornea, lens, and retina. It's like taking a brand new camera and leaving it out in the sand and wind for decades. Eventually, the scratches and dust build up, and clarity fades. Then there's the tear film, that thin protective layer of moisture coating your eyes. It's not just water. It's a complex mix of oils, proteins, and mucins designed to keep the eye smooth, lubricated, and shielded. At night, the tear film often dries more quickly, especially in seniors, because the glands that produce its oily layer become sluggish. When that film breaks down, every blink feels like dragging sandpaper across your eyes, scattering light into halos and glare. But the most overlooked piece of the puzzle is melatonin. Most people know melatonin as the sleep hormone, but it's far more than that. At night, melatonin acts like a signal to your eyes: repair crew, now is the time to flush out damaged proteins, restore mitochondrial function, and rebuild the retina's photoreceptors. It's the reset button your vision depends on every single night. Yet here's the catch: our modern lifestyle sabotages melatonin. Late night screens, artificial lighting, processed foods, and chronic stress all reduce melatonin production. Imagine calling in the repair team every night, only to find they've arrived with no tools and no energy. The damage piles up night after night until vision problems become impossible to ignore. So when seniors notice that evenings are harder on their eyes, it's not because they simply got old. It's because their eyes have lost the fuel to power their repair systems at the exact time they need it most. The mitochondria are starving, oxidative stress is unopposed, the tear film is thinning, and melatonin's signal is muffled. This is where the story turns, because the body is not broken, it's just undernourished. What if, instead of surrendering to this decline, you could give your eyes the exact fuel they need right before bed? What if there were natural ways to replenish the oils, restore the antioxidants, and empower melatonin to do its job again? That's where the oils come in. 4 simple, natural oils that can be taken before sleep, not as a gimmick, but as real metabolic fuel. They don't just coat the eye or mask symptoms. They go to the root of the problem, supplying the missing building blocks that allow the nighttime repair cycle to actually work. And when you understand how these oils interact with the eye's biology, you'll see that this isn't about fighting age. It's about giving your cells what they've been craving all along. Every breath you take keeps you alive, but it also sets in motion a chain reaction that, over time, can wear you down. Oxygen is the very fuel your cells burn to create energy, and without it, you wouldn't last minutes. But there's a paradox here: the same oxygen that sustains you can also quietly destroy you. Inside every cell, oxygen is processed by mitochondria, and in that process, some molecules spin out of control, becoming what we call free radicals. Think of them as sparks flying out of a fireplace. Most of the time, your body sweeps them up before they cause damage. But when too many sparks escape and no one is there to catch them, the house starts to burn. The eye is particularly vulnerable to this fiery problem. The retina, that delicate patch of tissue at the back of your eye, consumes more oxygen than almost any other part of the body. It's constantly working, capturing light, converting it into signals for the brain. It's never resting even when you sleep. This nonstop demand makes it a prime target for oxidative damage. Every flash of light, every exposure to UV rays, every moment of focus is like adding fuel to the fire. So over time, free radicals begin to chip away at the photoreceptors, the very cells that allow you to see color, detail, and depth. They don't die all at once. They weaken, misfire, and slowly dim, leaving you with less clarity, more blur, more struggle to see in low light. And as if that weren't enough, there's inflammation, the slow, silent intruder that creeps in over years and decades. Inflammation is your body's natural defense system, but when it never turns off, it becomes your enemy. It's like an alarm that keeps blaring even after the fire has been put out. Tiny blood vessels in the eye become irritated, immune cells release chemicals, and gradually, the tissues designed to protect your sight become worn and fragile. The tear film that once coated your eyes smoothly begins to thin and break apart. Instead of a clear, protective layer, you get dry patches, rough surfaces, and light scattering in every direction. Picture a windshield on a long road trip. Day after day, small bits of sand and gravel hit the glass. At first, you barely notice the specks, but after years of constant impact, scratches accumulate. The view becomes distorted, and no amount of wiping or cleaning restores the clarity. That's exactly what oxidative stress and inflammation do to your eyes. The damage is incremental, almost invisible in the beginning, but relentless. By the time you notice halos around lights or difficulty driving at night, decades of wear have already piled up. Here's where it becomes critical to understand timing. At night, when the world slows down, your eyes are designed to repair this damage. Antioxidants patrol the retina, mopping up free radicals, while anti-inflammatory signals calm the storm. But if your body doesn't have the raw materials, the repair never gets off the ground. This is why so many seniors wake up with eyes that feel dry, strained, or weaker than the night before. The repair crew showed up, but they had no tools. This is where the natural oils come into the story. Unlike synthetic supplements that flood your body with isolated compounds, these oils are whole, complex, and designed by nature to restore balance. They're rich in antioxidants, compounds that act like fire extinguishers, dousing the sparks before they spread. They're filled with anti-inflammatory agents that quiet the immune system's overreaction, allowing tissues to heal instead of fray. And when taken before bed, these oils arrive just in time for the nightly repair shift, feeding the mitochondria, strengthening the tear film, and shielding the retina from further damage. It's not about reversing the clock or pretending age doesn't matter. It's about stopping the hidden fire before it consumes more of your vision. It's about giving your eyes the defense they've been waiting for. Just as a windshield can't be unscratched, your eyes can't undo every bit of damage already done. But you can prevent new scratches, you can slow the wear, and in some cases, you can restore clarity by supporting the systems already built into your body. All it takes is the right fuel, delivered at the right time to let your natural defenses finally do the job they were meant to do. When you close your eyes at night, you might think your body powers down, but in reality, that's when the most important work begins. Sleep is not simply rest, it's repair. Every organ, every cell, every system has a night shift that comes alive once you drift off. And nowhere is this more critical than in the eyes. During the day, your eyes are on overdrive. They're bombarded with light, dust, oxidative stress, and constant motion. By evening, they're exhausted, worn thin, and filled with cellular debris. Left alone, this damage would pile up until your vision shut down completely. But the body is brilliantly designed with a reset button: sleep. The moment you fall asleep, a signal molecule called melatonin rises in the bloodstream. Most people think of melatonin only as the sleep hormone, but its true role is far deeper. It's the conductor of the nighttime repair orchestra, telling mitochondria in every cell that now is the time to recharge, flush out damaged proteins, and rebuild. Inside the retina, melatonin instructs mitochondria to sweep up the toxic byproducts left from a full day of processing light. It cues the photoreceptor cells to recycle their worn-out parts and rebuild fresh segments so they can capture tomorrow's light more clearly. It signals antioxidant systems to go to work, neutralizing the free radicals that accumulated like smoke in a factory. The tear glands use this quiet period to restore the protective film that keeps eyes moist and smooth. In essence, night is when the eyes stop taking in the world and start healing from it. But for many seniors, this repair cycle sputters. Melatonin shows up right on schedule, but the body has run out of the materials needed to follow its orders. It's like calling in a repair crew to fix a house after a storm. But when they arrive, they find no nails, no wood, no tools. They're willing, but they're empty-handed. Without antioxidants, the free radicals remain. Without healthy fats, the tear film can't be rebuilt. Without anti-inflammatory nutrients, irritation lingers and tissue continues to break down. The repair system doesn't fail because it's broken. It fails because it's under fate. This is where the oils play their role. Each one provides a specific set of tools that melatonin's crew desperately needs. Rich in antioxidants, they supply the shields that neutralize oxidative sparks before they ignite new fires. Loaded with healthy fats, they restore the tear film, sealing in moisture and protecting against nighttime dryness. Their anti-inflammatory compounds silence the constant low-level alarm bells, giving tissue space to heal instead of fray. And their molecular energy supports the mitochondria directly, giving those cellular batteries the raw fuel they need to recharge. Taken before bed, these oils don't just sit idly in your system. They align perfectly with melatonin's timing. They arrive just as the repair shift clocks in, handed over like a box of tools to workers ready to build diets. With the right materials finally in place, the repair crew can get back to doing what it was designed to do: cleaning, rebuilding, strengthening, and preserving the delicate machinery of sight. This is why so many seniors notice vision worsening at night. It isn't only that their eyes are aging, it's that the repair shift has been trying to work without supplies for years. By supplying the right oils at the right time, you're not adding something unnatural. You're restoring what should have been there all along. You're letting melatonin keep its promise, allowing your eyes to heal in the darkness so that you can see more clearly in the light. For centuries, people relied on natural oils not just for cooking but for healing, long before laboratories began dissecting their chemical structures. What's fascinating is how these ancient practices now line up perfectly with what modern science tells us about the eyes. Each oil carries its own story, its own role in the body, and when you put them together, they create a team that protects vision in ways no single nutrient could manage alone. Take the first oil, olive oil. Revered in the Mediterranean for thousands of years, it was called liquid gold by the Greeks and used not only for food but also as medicine and even in sacred rituals. People knew instinctively that it nurtured the body, but now we understand why. Rich in polyphenols and healthy monounsaturated fats, olive oil acts like a shield against inflammation. In the eyes, it helps calm the quiet storm that erodes the retina and blood vessels over decades. By reducing this background inflammation, it creates the conditions for the nightly repair crew to actually get work done without being interrupted by alarms. Then there's castor oil. It's an ancient remedy traced back to Egypt, where it was found in tombs as a healing balm. Mothers passed it down as a cure for everything from dry skin to stomach complaints, and even today it's a staple in natural medicine. But few realize its power for the eyes. Castor oil supports the glands that produce the oily layer of the tear film. Without this oily coat, tears evaporate too quickly, leaving eyes dry, gritty, and prone to glare. By enriching that tear film, castor oil helps restore a smooth protective surface, allowing light to pass cleanly without scattering. It's like polishing the lens of a camera until the view sharpens. The third oil is flaxseed oil, treasured by cultures from Mesopotamia to India. Known for its omega-3 content, flaxseed was pressed into oil and used to strengthen both body and mind. Today we know those omega-3s are critical for the membranes of photoreceptor cells in the retina. These are the cells that capture light and turn it into electrical signals for the brain, and they can't function properly without the right fats in their membranes. Flaxseed oil supplies those building blocks directly, protecting photoreceptors from breakdown and ensuring that tomorrow's vision is sharper than yesterday's. Finally, there's black seed oil. It's often called the seed of blessing in Middle Eastern traditions. It was written about by prophets, praised by healers, and used across centuries as a cure-all. What makes it remarkable for the eyes is its unique compound thymoquinone, which is both a powerful antioxidant and an anti-inflammatory. Black seed oil penetrates where other nutrients can't, quelling oxidative damage at the mitochondrial level. It doesn't just reduce stress, it fuels the very engines of the cells, ensuring they keep producing energy through the night. So when mitochondria are protected, the entire repair system thrives. Each of these oils has a distinct role. One calms inflammation, one restores the tear film, one rebuilds photoreceptors, and one fuels the mitochondria. Alone, they are powerful. But together, their synergy is extraordinary. It's like an orchestra. Olive oil is the steady rhythm section, castor oil is the smooth strings, flaxseed oil is the delicate woodwinds, and black seed oil is the bold brass. Each plays its part, but when combined under the direction of melatonin at night, they create harmony that no single instrument could achieve. This is why cultures that embraced these oils for generations often showed resilience against the very problems modern medicine now struggles with. They didn't know about polyphenols, omega-3s, or thymoquinone. They just knew these oils kept them strong. Today, we can finally explain why. And when used together before bed, they provide not just nourishment, but the complete toolkit the eyes need for nightly restoration. Think of your body as a vast factory, always running, never shutting down. During the day, the factory floor is alive with activity, machines churning, workers moving quickly. It's everything focused on producing energy to keep you alert, moving, and thinking. Every nutrient you take in the morning is funneled into this daytime production line. The fats, the sugars, the proteins, they're burned for fuel to keep the lights on and the assembly lines moving. Nothing is wasted, but very little is saved for repair. It's survival first, maintenance later. But when the sun sets and you close your eyes, the factory changes. The day shift clocks out and the night shift walks in. The machinery doesn't shut down, but its purpose shifts entirely. Instead of producing energy for action, the night shift focuses on fixing what broke during the day. The gears are oiled, the debris is cleared, the wiring is checked, and the weak parts are replaced. So this is what sleep is supposed to do. Repair the damage accumulated while you were awake. Here's the problem if the workers arrive but find the supply closet empty. How much repairing can they actually do? That's the situation most seniors face. The repair system is still there waiting, but the nutrients needed to rebuild the eye's delicate tissues never show up at the right time. So the workers do what they can, patching up here and there, but the big repairs remain undone. Night after night, the damage piles up and eventually vision begins to falter. This is why timing matters so much. If you take oils in the morning, they're swept up by the day shift. They're burned as fuel, used for energy, or stored away for daily activity. But if you take them before bed, something remarkable happens. The oils are no longer rushed to the production line. They're delivered directly to the repair crew. Instead of being spent, they're invested. They're used to rebuild the tear film, reinforce the membranes of photoreceptor cells, silence inflammation, and recharge mitochondria. In short, they become the raw materials for restoration. Imagine two groups of workers in that factory. The day shift builds, the night shift repairs. If you hand tools to the day shift, they'll use them up in construction, and nothing will be left for repairs. But if you give those same tools to the night shift, suddenly broken machines are fixed, cracks are sealed, and the whole factory is running smoother the next day. This is exactly why oils taken before bed make such a profound difference. They fuel the eye's night shift. For seniors, this distinction is everything. The day demands energy, but the night demands healing. By simply shifting the timing of these oils to the evening, you align them with the body's natural rhythms. You allow melatonin to guide them into the repair pathways, instead of watching them disappear into the day's fuel fires. It's not about taking more, it's about taking them when the body is primed to use them most effectively. The difference shows up in small ways. First, less dryness when you wake, less strain when reading at night, a clearer sense of contrast when driving after sunset. Over time, the benefits compound. The repair system, fully equipped at last, begins to catch up with the damage that once seemed unstoppable. The night shift finally has what it needs, and the factory of your body, especially the eyes, can keep producing clarity instead of surrendering to decline. Margaret was 73 when she first admitted to herself that she hated driving at night. The glare of headlights made her squint. Street signs blurred until she was almost past them, and every trip felt like a gamble. She stopped going out to her weekly book club because she couldn't face the drive home in the dark. For her, it wasn't just about her eyes, it was about losing a piece of her independence. When she started taking the oils before bed, she didn't expect much. But within weeks, she noticed the difference. The dryness that made her blink constantly at night faded. The glare from headlights softened. She could make out road signs again before passing them. It wasn't a miracle. It was her body finally repairing itself the way it was meant to. Then there's James, a retired teacher in his late 60s who always loved reading. Over the years, he found himself avoiding books at night because the letters seemed to dance on the page. He assumed it was just aging, nothing to be done. But after giving his body the right oils before sleep, his nights changed. He found himself reading again in bed, not straining, not rubbing his eyes. His wife teased that he was back to falling asleep with a book on his chest. What really happened was simple. The antioxidants and healthy fats from the oils fueled his eye's repair cycle, rebuilding the tear film and protecting the photoreceptors. Reading returned not because he forced it, but because his body had the tools it had been missing. And then there's Lillian, 81, who had always loved watching sunsets from her porch. Over time, the colors dulled, and the hazy blur over the horizon stole the joy from her evenings. She began to feel like the world itself was fading. After introducing the oils into her nightly routine, her experience shifted. Slowly, the haze lessened, and she noticed vibrant streaks of orange and purple stretching across the sky again. For her, it wasn't about science, it was about joy. About reclaiming the beauty she thought she had lost forever. Stories like these remind us that vision is not just about the mechanics of the eye, it's about life. Clear eyes means safe driving, confident reading, and the freedom to enjoy the world around you. They mean seeing a grandchild smile clearly, recognizing a friend across a room, or savoring the glow of the evening sky. When vision fades, it doesn't just take clarity, it takes away pieces of independence, confidence, and connection. That's why protecting the eyes matters so deeply. The science explains how oxidative stress, inflammation, and nutrient depletion erode vision over time. It shows us that mitochondria falter without support, that melatonin can't complete its repair work without raw materials, and that the tear film thins without healthy fats. But the real reason this matters is because behind every eye is a life. It's a life that can be diminished by poor vision or restored by nourishing the repair systems built into the body. Seniors are not doomed to darkness. They are not condemned to blurry nights and fading days. The body is resilient, and even after decades of wear, the eyes still respond when given what they need. 4 simple oils taken at the right time can supply the missing tools that allow melatonin to direct a full repair. The results aren't instant magic, but they are real, and they grow with every night of consistent care. It all comes down to small choices. One spoonful, one decision, one night at a time. With each evening dose, you're telling your body, here are the tools, now do what you were always designed to do. Over weeks and months, that choice adds up to clarity, comfort, and confidence. You can drive safely again, you can read with ease, you can enjoy the sunsets and the smiles you thought you'd lost. It's not about chasing youth, it's about reclaiming vitality at any age. And that begins with something as simple as fueling your night shift before you sleep.